Hi everyone, this is Diana Layton, Teen Librarian from the Turner Memorial Library in Presque Isle, Maine, here to present my June 2010 book talk. And this month we're going to be taking a look at The First Part Last by Angela Johnson. And this book actually builds upon a character introduced in one of Johnson's earlier books called Heaven. This really takes a minor character and expands him into the main character of this book. With that having been said, I haven't read Heaven. I just jumped right to The First Part Last, so you can certainly do the same, and you don't really miss too much, although you should probably read both of them, because I'm sure Heaven is very good as well. But The First Part Last, as you can tell by our cover here, deals with the issue of teen pregnancy. Specifically takes a look at, again, Bobby, the main character, as he experiences fatherhood as a teenager. The book is broken into alternating chapters that are labeled as Then and Now, and as the reader we kind of can tell that Then is really dealing with Bobby and his girlfriend Nia as they navigate her pregnancy, whereas Now is taking a look at how Bobby is dealing with being a new teenage father. And as we kind of progress through the book, we start seeing, as those times come together, building into the pivotal time that really changes Bobby's life. So this isn't the first book that the Teen Book Club has read on teen pregnancy. We've also read Impossible by Nancy Werlin, which really, it's contemporary, but that book kind of almost deals with it as a modern folk tale, fairy tale, and First Part Last isn't quite like that. It's definitely much more realistic, but at the same time, I wouldn't call it gritty. Angela Johnson is really good at presenting such a realistic issue using very poetic language. So while we do see Bobby as he is stressed out and exhausted and scared and confused, and all of those experiences of any new parent, at the same time, Angela Johnson is able to present these very sensory experiences that Bobby has with his baby daughter Feather, the way that she smells and feels, and just all of these things that culminate into Bobby's love for Feather, and really showcase why he's, so exhausted, juggling his personal life and his school life to really take care of Feather. And, teen pregnancy is still a pretty controversial issue, at least from the standpoint of how different families and groups deal with the issue and pregnancy prevention. And one of the common phrases that come up in these arguments is babies having babies. And another thing that Angela Johnson really takes a look at is the fact that Bobby is a teenager, and not so long ago, he essentially was a child and is only beginning to really step into adulthood. And it's kind of a day-to-day thing. There are days where he wants nothing more than to turn to his mother for support. And although his mother does support him, she tries to make him realize that Feather is the product of Bobby and Nia's decisions, and thus is really Bobby's responsibility and not hers. Bobby has to take care of this himself. So as much as he wants to retreat into the comforts that he sought out as a child, he's going headlong into adulthood. And obviously, when we look at movies and films and other books movies and TV shows and other books that deal with teenage pregnancy, it's usually from the mom's standpoint. If the father is present, sometimes he's apathetic, sometimes he's not in the picture at all. So it's not very often that we see things from the father's perspective, and certainly not this intimately. So I know for me, this is a very alien experience being presented to me, and I definitely learned a lot. And if you're looking for other books that tell pregnancy from a teenage father's perspective, certainly check this one out. There are others, including Slam by Nick Hornby, that you may also want to check out. But yeah, so I really enjoyed the first part last, and I think you will too. Even if you may not be interested in the issue of teenage pregnancy necessarily, just the way that it's written, it's very simple but poetic language. Again, it's not it's not a big read. It's a pretty quick read, but it doesn't mean that Angela Johnson is skimping. You definitely get a whole big important story out of it. So I'll leave it at that, and I'll see you guys next month. Thanks.